I come from a place called whoop that ninja head. Because if you go into prison and you've been doing that type of stuff, you're gonna pay a price just for doing those things. This man sits up here and kicks this woman in the head like he's punting a football. And your little punk ass gonna sit up there and let him walk off? All I'm trying to figure out is, how do these people know what's going on around these women and say that it's okay? It's this culture of silence that we have to stop allowing to happen. All right, y'all, let's get to it. Russell Simmons, Dr. Dre, Diddy, Chris Brown, Ike Turner, Tory Lanez, Soulja Boy, R. Kelly, DDG, Kanye. If you are upset that your favorite entertainer was accused of something you believe that they did not do, then I agree with you. But if you are upset because you believe an entertainer is getting away with something that they actually may have done, I agree with you too. And you may ask, how can I agree with both positions? Well, it's very simple. It's because I don't know those people. I don't know what circles they are in. I don't know what their lives are like. I don't know what people with their amount of money actually do each and every day. I have no idea how they really live. Now, many of you have what's called a parasocial relationship with some of these people. A parasocial relationship is a one-sided emotional connection that individuals form with media figures like celebrities, fictional characters, or influencers, okay? Can we say DJ Academics and Drake, or maybe the Beehive? Now, I'm just teasing on the Beehive, so don't y'all be coming at me because I just mentioned your name. But the bottom line is, you don't know these people, but you act like you do. And because of that, you have these feelings, and I get it, and I'm all right with that. But just like you have a right to have an opinion, so do I. And here is mine. What we're talking about is what happens when someone you like is accused of something you don't believe they did, especially physical and SA. And you don't have to know whether it's true or not. You only know what you believe. But we know some people that do know whether it's true or not. Those are the people around the victim. So let's just start off and figure this out. Let's start with Rihanna and Chris Brown. All right, now, in my opinion, you can't convince me that didn't nobody know that Chris Brown wasn't waxing that head on a daily, on a regular. Because when you see those pictures, and I'm not posting no pictures here on this site, I'll leave you links if you want to see them, but I'm not posting them. But the simple fact is, you can't tell me that didn't nobody know that Rihanna was getting her head waxed every day. If you saw that picture, Chris Brown was too comfortable in doing what he did, so he had to be used to it. Now, once again, it's my opinion, so before they try to sue me and this, that, and the other, bottom line, that's how I feel about the situation. But the bottom line is, Chris Brown was doing that stuff, and he not only did that stuff then, but then he went on to graduate into other types of, abuse. At least that's what it seems like. And it's accusation here, accusation there. And of course, those people who like Chris Brown want to say, well, why are you picking on him? I'm not picking on him. I'm saying that there were people around him. There were people around Rihanna that actually knew what was going on. They said absolutely nothing, okay? That's what I'm saying. And that's the part that I want to address. Take Tina Turner, for instance. We can go all the way back to Ike and Tina Turner. For those of you who watched the movie What's Love Got to Do With It and know who Tina Turner is, you can go back and see. Tina Turner was going through the same thing, and there were people that were around her. You can't tell me there wasn't nobody around her that didn't see that this was going on. But at the same time, Tina was quiet. Tina was keeping it to herself. Tina was making sure that nobody saw her without either a lot of makeup on, or if it was those pointed times where she was really beat up, she just stayed out of the limelight. And she had to do that, not only protecting herself, but protecting the guy who was actually beating on her. And all of the people that are around, and I'm gonna say it, all the people around her, unless somebody gonna come out and say that they actually saw what was going on, said something, and did something, okay? Then prove me wrong. But that's what was going on with her. And what makes it even worse than that, let me tell you. When I was younger, I used to think that Ike Turner had to be a big man. He must have been a big man. To do all the stuff that he was doing, he had to be huge. He must have at least been 7 feet tall, at least 350 pounds or something like that. Ike Turner was 5'9", and he was a reasonable weight. So it's not like he was super big or anything like that. He was a smaller guy. I'm not hating on those people who are, height challenged or anything like that. But the bottom line is, it's not that he was 7 feet tall, but he was sitting up here hitting on this woman. I'm pretty sure there were men around. There were definitely women around. You remember from the movie What's Love Got to Do With It, where, what's her name? Vanessa Bell Calloway's character was in the diner and they was, eat the cake, anime, eat the cake.
Come on. Eat some cake, man.
That kind of thing. And so Ike Turner's character, which was played by Lawrence Fishburne, ended up, smacking her around and stuff like that. And she told Tina Turner, he only got to hit me one time.
Ike, I'm out of here. You ain't got to hit me but once. It's all right.
And she left and we never saw her again. And by the time we saw her in the latter part of the movie, she had changed religions. She had actually changed religions. That's what them type of beatings do to a person, make you change your religion. But let's go back to the scene with the cake and watch the guy that's with Ike Turner and watch what he says and watch what he does.
It's good. Anime, come on. This cake real good.
Anime, just take the cake, please.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Instead of him doing what he should have did, one, stop Ike from hitting on that woman, or hitting on both of those women, and then trying to control the situation and maybe putting Ike in his place, he gonna say something to Anime, or Tina Turner, like she was the problem. Like it was all her fault. And that's what was happening with Tina Turner, and didn't nobody have nothing to say. That's what was happening with Rihanna, and didn't nobody have nothing to say. The 5'9", what's his name? Ike Turner. And 6'1", Chris Brown. But Chris Brown ain't no big guy. He ain't no super big guy, super muscular and stuff like that. It's not like he's sitting up here just whooping feet every time he get a chance. No, he gets to do it to her, picking on women. And then, of course, we know there's Cassie. And what gets me with Cassie so far in this Diddy trial is that Cassie mama knew that Cassie was getting her head whooped. What's her name? Dawn Richard knew that Cassie was getting her head whooped. Testified that she was there and saw Diddy come at her with meaning Cassie, come at Cassie with a black skillet. Now, when you say black skillet where I'm from, that means a cast iron skillet, okay? And he coming at Cassie with a cast iron skillet, and she just sitting back, watching. And then there's Cuddy. Cuddy, oh my gosh. Look, it's not funny, but it's just amazing how this stuff happens. Cuddy's sitting up here, and Cuddy knows she in trouble because Cassie done told her, hey man, I'm in trouble. Diddy is whooping my head. And he tries to get her away, and I'm gonna give him that much. He tries to get her away. But even though he tries to get her away, still, she turns around and tells Diddy where Cuddy lived, and now Cuddy's car gets blown up. Now, once again, that's allegedly on whether he actually did it or not. But the bottom line is that's what happened. Now, let's just assume that he did. Well, first of all, number one is, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I think, what was it? Chris Tucker said in Rush Hour, you don't mess with a black man's radio. Okay, that's rule number one. Rule number two, you don't mess with a black man's woman. Okay, we got rule number three. And then after that, you don't mess with a black man's car. And Diddy done set up here allegedly and blew up this man's car. Oh my goodness, I don't even understand how this even happens and how he even gets away with it. And I ain't looking for you after you done blew up my car? Oh man, come on now. Wait, and then go meet with him. Go have a meeting with him, like this is the Wild West or something like that. And he gonna meet with them and try to find out exactly, well, what you gonna do about my car? I don't know what you talking about, man. Come on, and your little punk ass gonna sit up there and let him walk off? That's the part that gets me. Hey, look, I gotta calm down. I'm not endorsing violence. All I'm trying to figure out is, How do these people know what's going on around these women and say that it's okay? And when I say that they say it's okay, I mean that they allow it to happen. I'm beside myself. It's this culture of silence that we have to stop allowing to happen. Whether it's in hip hop, bebop, R&B, rock and roll, it doesn't make a difference what it is. Whether it's in actors or actresses, no matter, movies or whatever it is. We have to stop allowing this culture of silence to continue. That's what happened with R. Kelly. R. Kelly was able to do all the things that he did, and all these people wasn't saying nothing and doing anything. And you got people out in front of Chocolate Factory talking about, I don't remember the young lady's name, but her parents out there asking her to come out. I come from a place called Whoop That Ninja Head. Because at the end of the day, I don't understand how these people can get away with this stuff. And then, they go, well, you're being insensitive. You're not paying attention to what's going on. And all the rest of that stuff. And if you got something to say about it, you can put it in the comments. I ain't got the bow tie on today. And I come from a place where it's nowhere in the world that this stuff is happening. And those people didn't stop it. They didn't say nothing. I don't have no 911 calls. I don't see 911 after 911 after 911 after 911 call. As far as these people are concerned, not just from Rihanna or Tina Turner or from Cassie, I'm talking about from the people who were in the area. Let's go back to Cassie and take a look at it. They were on a whole hotel floor. Now, unless you're telling me that Diddy had the whole hotel floor, this man sits up here and kicks this woman in the head like he's punting a football. And everybody's just like, oh, okay, isn't that horrible? Whoop that ninja's head. That's what you're supposed to do, because obviously he can't figure it out. It's amazing that people in prison, the prison system, the place that we like to think that we're the civilized ones and they are the barbaric ones because they must have done something wrong in order to go into prison. Those people seem to have a better moral compass than we do. Because if you go into prison and you've been doing that type of stuff, touching on little kids, beating on women, sexually assaulting women and things like that, you're gonna pay a price just for doing those things. But out here, we're like, no, I don't wanna say nothing. I don't want nobody to take away my record deal. I don't want nobody to take away my movie contract. I don't want nobody to compromise me in a way that I can't make a living for myself. Go to school. Find something else that you can do with yourself. But the bottom line is, you don't have to put up with that. And honestly, in my opinion, if we stop the culture of silence and come from a place called Whoop That Ninja's Head, it would be much better. Because you don't need to send him to jail. All you need to do is give us 24 hours. 24 hours. Now, we can't do nothing we can't take nobody's life or nothing like that. But 24 hours to whoop that head, and all of a sudden, I can guarantee you they probably won't do it no more. I can guarantee it. Even if we don't get that. Okay, let's push back. Don't go too far, by master. You're going too far. All right. Even with that aside, you still got to think of the fact that there were people around that did absolutely nothing. There were people around that didn't call 911. There were people around that did not challenge any of these people that were consistent abusers. They didn't do anything at all. And look, I don't know how this is gonna come across when this is finally, published to YouTube or wherever it goes. But at the end of the day, it just bothers me. I'm a girl dad, and I just don't understand. Look, I'm happy that some of them have found good lives for themselves. I'm happy for Cassie. I'm happy for Rihanna. I'm extremely happy for Rihanna, y'all. For those who do know her or do like her, I'm extremely happy for her. I'm extremely happy for Cassie. You know what I'm saying? And I was extremely happy for Tina Turner to be able to get away from that. But the bottom line is, they didn't have to go through that. They didn't have to go through any of that. If there wasn't a culture of silence, if there was a place called Whoop That Ninja Head that people had to be afraid of, maybe those women wouldn't have had to go through what they went through. And that's the thing that gets me. And I know that people are gonna put in the comments, because there's always gotta be somebody to do that. But I wanna thank you for taking the time to actually watch this video, and I wanna thank you for taking the time to actually consider this issue. If you know somebody that is being abused or is subject to abuse, Do not let that person that is abusing them continue doing what they're doing. Call the police. Yeah, they may not like you anymore. Call the police. If it come down to it and you got to defend somebody in order to protect another person, hey, you do what you got to do. I'm not going to tell you whether it's legal or not. You look up your own laws, but the bottom line is you do what you got to do. We got to have some morals and we got to have some standards here. And as far as the men are concerned, they're standing by just watching this stuff going on. I don't know what to say because anything that I'll say will probably be too harsh. But once again, we're going to see how this goes. I'll see what happens. I ain't going to keep you updated because hopefully this is the last time I got to address this issue, but I probably will have to continue addressing it again. So on that note, I'll talk to you later. And as I always say, what it is, what it do. Don't forget, subscribe and check out my other videos.